Hey, how's it going? Welcome to week 23 countdown to my first Ironman California 2023. 23 weeks away. It's getting really close. So let me give you an update so far. So it is Thursday, the 19th. Oh, Friday the 19th. I'm a day behind. And so far, the training has been great. I've been running, I've been swimming, I've been cycling. So far I've been all up to date on my training. I'm not gonna lie, it's been intense. The 2-a-days is pretty intense. It doesn't feel intense when it's happening. It's just the body recovery. That's intense. I noticed I've been taking naps, a lot more naps. I've been averaging 2 a day. Anytime I have it, just put my head down real quick just to rest, and boom, I'm out. I wake up, I'm like, oh man, how long was I out? So I'm 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max naps, but my body needs it. And another thing too is I've been eating like a madman. Oh my God. I just feel like I've been eating everything in sight. Refueling. My body's expending so much energy, and my body needs that energy to not only replenish, but also to recover, my body. My body's been being broken down, recover, break down, recover, break down. So this constant breakdown, recover is, really taxing on my body. But again, doing jiu-jitsu for 14 years, that, again, 4 to 5 times a week, that is grueling. So like my body is used to this breakdown recovery. So here's a quick little information. The one thing about the body, if you have worked out since you were young and you've continued to work out throughout your whole life, your muscle goes through some type of muscle maturity, right? And the muscle maturity is just the breakdown of the body, and the muscle constantly having to recover to repair itself, to either to get bigger, more endurance, or whatever it may be. That stimulus in time allows the body to mature. As time goes on, the process becomes a lot faster of the recovery. Now compare that to someone who doesn't work out, and maybe for whatever reason, when they work out or when something intense happens, their body, once it's broken down, takes a longer time to recover. And the reason it takes a longer time to recover is due to the lack of muscle maturity. So it's not a good or bad thing depending on your life. But if, let's say, I'm not always a person who didn't work out, and I decided to do this journey would have been twice, if not triple times harder, because my body having to recover wouldn't recover as fast as it's recovering now. So the only reason why I'm recovering fast is because of the muscle maturity of just doing this my whole life. So muscle maturity is extremely important. So the sooner that you work out in your life, the more time that your body has to recover, the more tension under the muscles have gone under. Example would be, I'm sure you heard of old man strength, like when you shake someone's hand and let's say they're a construction worker and have been for a long time, and they just crush your hand. Like, man, this guy very strong. Well, that person's, the time that they've been using their hands and the time under tension, that's muscle maturity. So that has developed over time. You can't get that overnight. So that muscle maturity is what's helping me recover really fast. Well, I think it's fast. I'm sore, but not really sore. It's just like, oh, okay, I worked out. It's constant. That's in my opinion on my recovery. Here's another update. 2 things. So first thing is, one of the hardest things about this training is the time needed. Now, I'm very fortunate to have my own schedule. So I booked all my work in the mornings, which then gives me the afternoons or noon to afternoon available to do my training. But then life happens, right? And it's really easy to just say, oh, well, I'm busy, I can't train today, I'll just train tomorrow. That would be unacceptable, well, for any goal, but especially for this goal that I know what's ahead of me. And every day that I miss is going to be one day less of me preparing for my big race. So I don't want to fall behind. That's just not the way I am. So for example, on Saturday, tomorrow, I work all in the morning, and then I have, the owner of our academy is having a birthday party for his wife, and he lives an hour away. So having to budget 2 hours for driving there and back, being at the party, that's gonna be several hours. That's a big chunk out of my day. The morning work is another chunk of my day, which then leaves me a very small window in the afternoon to train. And I have a big day tomorrow. I have an hour of swimming and an hour of running. So again, I need 2 hours worth of training time. So I either have to wake up really, really early in the morning to train, or train really, really late at night when I come back, which is not going to be ideal. So I really have to take advantage of the 2-3 hours that I have available in the afternoon to push all my training in. So I have to do what I have to do. This training is a huge priority. So I cannot, this is what I tell my clients. Don't schedule fitness around life. Schedule life around fitness, right? Because if you schedule fitness around life, life is never going to be calm. There's something that's always going to come up. So then you put your fitness in the back burner. And that's how people allow time to slip away. And I hear the story all the time. I haven't worked out in 10 years. Life has been busy, my kids, blah, 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 which is totally understandable. But if you schedule life around your fitness, now you're making fitness a priority, right? You schedule all your meetings, you schedule all your whatever around your time. Your time is the time that you work out, that you give to yourself. You are the most important person. So which means that all the stuff that you give to other people, your nurture, your whatever it may be, your time, that doesn't exist without you being in a good place, right? So why wouldn't you take care of yourself first, so that when you give, it makes it, more powerful. So that's just what I had to do. Schedule my fitness and then life around fitness. So just wanted to kind of give you a little insight on how I prepare for this race in a very hectic lifetime or life schedule. All right, so the next one, I have been invited by Mike Jones. He is the owner of Primal Canine. He is actually my dog's coach. He trained and developed Dozer to be the dog who he is today. Dozer was a rescue, and everyone wrote Dozer off and said he's not going to be what you want him to be. He's uncontrollable. And Mike did a wonderful job preparing him for life after the junkyard in a home. And when I adopted him, it's been amazing. Like he's been the best dog I've ever had, and the most trained dog I've ever had. And training him for protection work was one of the best things that I ever did, and the best things that could have been done for this dog and for his rehabilitation. He was able to divert this internal energy that he had to the training of protection work. Think of protection work like police dogs, right? Police dogs are designed to protect, not to attack. So I was invited to his street league seminar. He has dog decoys. Decoys are the people who wear the bite suits, and they're the ones who are catching the bites from the dogs. So they're going through a certification to enhance their knowledge and their education. And I was invited to be this strength and conditioning coach for the fitness portion of the program. So yesterday and today, I've been sharing my knowledge, preparing these dog decoys to increase the longevity of their career. So I'm going to show you some videos of my time there at Primal Canine. Not part of my training, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that I get to experience in my life, and not just training, but also what I do outside of training, and how this fitness lifestyle is not just work. It's my whole life. And one of these videos, I'll do a follow along. So we'll just do a whole day following along and just the things that I do. But anyways, I'll show you some videos. Hope you enjoy some of the things that I'm doing with these decoys. And they're amazing athletes. They have to be extreme elite athletes because they're dealing with extreme athletic dogs. And in order to increase or to develop an elite athletic dog, you need an athletic elite dog trainer and decoy. So we're developing these decoys to be elite athletic decoys. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the video, and see you in the next video. All right, welcome back to the end of the week 23 countdown to my first Ironman in California 2023, October 22nd, 2023. Let me break down this week's training. So week 2 of the 24-week program, or the 24-week training camp. And last week I graded myself on my performance on the 3 sports. So I'm gonna continue that, and I'm gonna grade myself again. And that's what I'll do. Part of this video series is give you a grade that I think I deserved based on the training of the week. So this week, let's talk about swimming. Swimming was great. I give myself an A. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna lower that grade. I'm gonna go down to a B+, A-. Now the reason being is I did all my training that has been in the program. Problem is, my program is asking me to swim twice a week, where I personally like to swim 3 times a week. So because I missed one of the days, I will lower my grade and give myself an A- to a B+. I did all my splits, I did all my times. So I am very satisfied with my swimming. Now let's talk about cycling. Cycling, give myself an A. I did all of my work. They really put it on me on cycling this second week. When I mean about put it on me is when I was preparing for this training program, I was only doing 10 miles. So 10 miles would take me, I think indoors would take me, I don't know, an hour. So I was going really slow. But outdoors, 10 miles, I think was taking me close to 45 minutes. So 45 minutes is not that long, but now they got me hour. And on Friday, they had me an hour and 20 minutes. So that one was the longest ride so far. And it wasn't bad. You know, they didn't ask me to go extreme or high intensity. It was a very low intensity, but a long ride. So it was good. I had a great time. I ended up going an old route that I used to go a long time ago. So I got to go down in the shoreline area, in the Google area. I should have taken video, but I was too busy riding my bike. I didn't have my GoPro. But next time, I'll have my GoPro and I can show videos of the things that I see while I'm biking around. So I give myself an A. I did 2 training sessions outdoor and I did 1 indoor. I did all my training, I did all my time, but I don't like that indoor, or at least giving myself full credit indoor than I would outdoor. So let me lower that to, again, A-, B+. Because again, 1 indoor, 2 outdoor, I'll take some points away from that. So that's cycling. But again, all in all, hour and 20 minutes was not bad out and about. Because I'm in the aero position, right? Really down low where my elbows are on the handlebars. It's there's 2 things that are very new. Number 1, the arching of the back. Or, you know, it's a big arch. And the reason I'm in the aero position, or triathletes are in the aero position, is for aerodynamics. They want to cut through air and go as fast as possible, with less drag. So the aero does that. Again, my whole life being on bicycles, I've always been in the upright position. So to be that low, it's definitely will need some getting used to. And when I'm indoors, I don't have that aero position. So that's another reason why I take points away for myself. Because I'm not in that aero position, and during the race, I'm gonna be in the aero position the whole time. So that's the reason why I give myself less credit. Outside of that, that's cycling. Cycling's been good. Now the running. All right, here we go. So the running, I'm gonna give myself an A. I did all the work that I needed to do. I did all the times. But now from this week on, I'm no longer gonna just grade myself on the work that I'm doing. I now need to start grading myself on my running technique. Now, let me explain. So when I first started this journey, the biggest weakness of mine was the swimming. So what's the first thing I did? I went out and got a trainer, learned how to swim correctly, and then practice it for the last 6 months. So I'm actually 6 months deep into my swimming training, and I feel like this 6-month period, and once the program has started the last 2 weeks, I feel like I've kicked in like a new gear, you know, and I'm sure in a couple months I'll kick in a new gear, and a couple months after that I'll kick in a new gear, and by the time the race comes along, I should be in all my gears and all my rhythm, my timing, everything should be just right, because this will have given me 1 whole year of training. So my swim Again, that's why I focus on it so much and so early, because I need to catch that rhythm right when the race starts. Now the cycling, I didn't do that as fast. That one was just a matter of purchasing a bike. And once I purchased that big ticket item, then I started to cycle. And the biggest thing I needed to work on was the push-pull. That way I can be efficient on my movement. So now, let's say for the last 4 months, I've been practicing my cycling. I'm now just starting to kick in to a new gear. I'm getting comfortable because of the last 4 months. Now, running. So because I don't like running and because I procrastinated on my running, and this is where I blame myself, I wasted the last 6 months. So now the last 6 months, I could have been training. Right about now is when I should be kicking into a new gear in my running because I've had the 6 months of training. Now I'm starting from scratch, right? That's the reason why my feet are blistering up, or were blistering up, because I hadn't gone through the growing pains. I'm now going through the growing pains. So now my feet were just jacked up. Now they're tougher and now they don't bother me as much. So what I should have gone through 6 months ago, I'm now going through it now. So I've wasted the 6 months. Now the biggest thing that I feel that's holding me back on the running is my spring. Now I talked about this in the last video series about my injury with my knee. You know what? I didn't waste it. I forgot I was injured. So my knee was swollen for the last 5 weeks of in between the 2 marathons. Before that was my calf. So I was lazy, but I was injured at the same time. So those 6 months were wasted and I don't have that spring. So if I would have been training the last 6 months, right about now, I'd be kicking into a new gear of my running, in which I would have had another 6 more months of training. So by the time I get into that race, all my gears of all 3 sports will be kicking in. So by the time the race comes in, I'll be kicking full gear of my swimming, full gear of my cycling, but I will be half gears on my running. So when I'll be kicking into a new gear with my running, the race will be here. And I won't have those extra 6 months that I've had with the other 2 sports. So the biggest thing that I've noticed is that I feel like I'm running in mud, right? There's no spring in my calves and my ankles, and my knees and my hips. I still feel like I'm dragging, and I can hear my running, right? I'm dragging my feet. And it's just that, again, I just don't have that spring. And I take full responsibility. I'm not blaming anyone other than my no feelings towards running. That is the importance of time, right? Wasted time. I could have been a lot further, but now I'm behind. So I'm now catching up is what I'm saying. So now that I'm gonna grade myself on my running, it's no longer grading myself on what I'm doing. Now I gotta start grading myself on my technique, because the last 6 months I've been grading myself on the technique on swimming. The last 4 months I've been fixing my technique on cycling. Now I have to start late on my technique on running. So on the swimming and cycling, now I'm just grading the work. For the running, I have to grade myself on the work and the technique. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's how I'm looking at it as my trainer brain. So that's an update on my work. I'm getting all the work done, and now I'm looking forward to next week. Next week is 22 weeks left, and it's the 3rd week of training camp. All in all, my body is feeling great. My knees are no swelling. My blisters, they're pretty much gone. The new skin's coming in, so my body's feeling good. Yeah, my body's feeling great. I'll talk about what I'm about to talk about later, because I know that it's getting late in time. So hope you enjoyed this week's training, and I will see you next week.